So the project of this winery, it all started in 2006. Mr. Antonio, the owner, this guy over there, he started here planting 12 hectares of vineyard. This was abandoned land, so they had to clean it all and tap into the vineyard from zero. Our vineyards, they are very young at the moment. They have between 14 and 17 years old only. And at this moment, we are working with 25 hectares of vineyards all on the north side of the island. So we have vineyards in Portugal. So here in this small valley we have the Quinta grape. This is a red variety original from this island, and this one is planted here because it doesn't need too much sun exposure to have the quality that we need. Okay, this is the only red that grows here. All the other reds, they grow in Porto Muniz because it's hotter and it has more sun exposure. Here you can see as well that we have some new leaves growing again. This should not be happening actually. At this moment the vineyard should be in this resting mode. This year it's not happening because it's been hotter than normal. So the vineyard is start growing again. We don't know what will happen next. The guys are trying to do a new cleaning of the vineyard to stop the growing, but it's not really working. So we don't know. Maybe next year we will have to harvest. This is a new thing for us as well. In the production in Porto Santo, for example, we already have some grapes growing. So we need to wait and see what will be happening. The bad thing about have to harvest on a year, it's the quality will be not the best one. Okay, that's what we'll do. It's this one here that we call lectada. So the grape grows always protected by the leaf of the vineyard, and it's a grape that feels green and with the acidity more present. This acidity, it all came from the volcanic soil of the island, so it will be present, of course, in all the wines that you will taste after. In this way, we can also feel more the natural aromas from the grape. Our past ones, they start planting the vineyard like this because under the vineyard they can plant potatoes and vegetables too, so they can use the land twice. Here we don't do that because we need all the ingredients to the grapes to have more quality on the grapes. Then we have here the espaldada. This is the most common way of planting the vineyard, the vertical way. Here in this way the grape catches more sun, so the skin of the grape gets more sweet. Because of that sweetness, we don't feel the acidity so strong after. So we can choose the way we want to plant the vineyard, about what we want from the grape, but we need to be careful about what the grape needs. For a white grape, it's okay to grow in both ways. For the red ones, always better the vertical way, okay? Because the red grapes need more sun exposure to have the quality that we need. Questions?
What is the grape growing season?
Our land is not the easiest place, so we cannot use machinery. All the work is manual, all by hand. The only help that the guys have is during the harvest season. We have very small tractors that they can go inside of the vineyards in certain points, so they can put the boxes with the grapes inside, and they don't have to carry it in their back. That's the only help that they have on the vineyards actually. The harvest, as I told you, it's September normally. For example, this year, because it's been drier and hotter, we made it in August. Okay? All year around, we have 5 guys taking care of all the 25 hectares of vineyards. During the harvest, we need more 40 people per day, and we have around 1 month to do all the harvest. And then the place where we make the wines is done on the village of São Vicente, and it's a government place. It works like a cooperative, but we can use our own name and brands. And we need to pay some taxes to use the machinery that they have to produce and to bottle the wine. If we want to do an aging of the wines on the oak barrels, for example, we need to have our own wines. That kind of things we don't share with the other producers, only the machinery. Okay? We will walk a little bit inside of the vineyard. You can see how it is. Be careful with your heads. We have 2 big tanks near to the first house, and we collect the water from the rain and from the lavada, the irrigation canals that we have on the island. So if we need, we have enough water. This irrigation system we are not really using now because the vineyard is getting older, so it doesn't need so much water. And we have rain almost all year around. So it's enough for the vineyard. Actually, sometimes during summer we have rain, and that's bad to the vineyard. So, but the weather we cannot control. This system, Mr. Antonio wants to keep it here in case, okay? Because the weather is changing a lot on the island, so it's getting drier. So he's afraid that he take this off, and then he will need it. He will need to do everything manually with I don't know, maybe backpacks or anything with water and irrigates, and that will not be easy at all. So he had the irrigation system, and he will keep it here in case he needs it. It's easier. At the beginning, when the vineyard was younger, we needed to irrigate from the first 5 years from 2 to 2 weeks. Now, only if we have too much dry weather in May or June, we will need to irrigate the vineyard. If it's raining, it's totally fine. We don't need to irrigate this system. It used to work drop by drop. Okay, we put some big pipes like this ones in each plant, so the water could go directly to the roots, and in this way we avoid the humidity of the plant. The humidity it's the biggest problem that we have on the island. It can create fungus, disease, so we need to be very careful about this. Because of the very high humidity, we don't really have an organic wine on the island. There are 2 producers on the south side of the island. They are trying to do an organic wine, but they are losing a lot of the production because of that. So you have to decide. And here we are not doing the organic wines, actually, at least for now. Okay, so let's just work a little bit more. Plant from the Laurustiva florist that we call Ursus, and it's a very strong one. So we use it as a barrier against strong winds. The winds here, it always came from the ocean because we are on a valley. So the wind sometimes is bad if it's too strong. That's why we use the protection. But the wind, it's good as well. So the wind makes the weather drier, so less humidity, better for us. And the wind, because it always comes from the ocean, it brings a little bit more of minerality and saltiness to the grapes that we can actually feel it if we taste it. So we use this grape from this last part to make one specific wine that we can feel that saltiness stronger in our aftertaste. So everything changes the grape, okay? The place, the soil, the weather, everything. Questions for me? No? So at this moment we are producing around 80,000 bottles a year. With the production in Porto Santo, we hope to catch the 100,000. We still don't know, but we hope so. What else?
How big % of it goes to export, or?
We already export, but very small amounts.
Okay.
We sell mostly on the island. We export to UK, Germany, and Estonia at this moment.
Yeah.
Thank you.
You can see it later.
I need to remember. So let's pass for our first red wine. This is our Vinhas do António from 2019, and this one it's a blend of 4 different varieties. So here we have the Aragonês, the Touriga Nacional, and then Cabernet Sauvignon and Merlot. The Cabernet Sauvignon and the Merlot, we don't have them planted anymore. These 2 grapes, it was an experiment, but they don't really grow well on the island. We could only use it in 2019, and we take them off in 2020 because it doesn't really work. So this wine, even with all these grapes, it's a light red, mostly because of the weather that we have on the island, but because of the fermentation process as well. This one stainless steel, and we add some small pieces of French oak to the stainless steel tanks that stay in contact with the wine for 6 months. It gives a little bit of body to the wine, but you cannot really feel it in your palate. In the aromas of this one, you will have again the red fruits from the Aragonês and from the Cabernet Sauvignon, a little bit of black pepper from the Merlot, and then tobacco, chocolate and coffee from the Touriga Nacional. This is a wine that you can have, for example, with white meat, fish, pizza, pasta, hamburger, fat cheeses. On the stainless steel tanks around 2 months, and then the wine goes to the barrels of French oak for 1 year. So it's more persistent, more complex, with a little bit more of body as well. In the aromas, you'll have the red fruit from the Aragonês, and then a little bit of smoke, vanilla, and caramel from the French oak barrels. This is the one that you can already have it with some red meat, for example.
Okay.
2019, and this one is 100% Verdalho, just like the first one. But in 2019 was not raining during harvest, so you will feel this wine totally different in your palate. It's more complex, more persistent, with more structure, and you will feel the acidity and the minerality more strong as well. This one, because of the most high acidity, it's what we call a gastronomic wine. So it's always better to have it with some food. Strong cheeses, strong fishes, risotto, pasta, or even with meat. This one, in the aroma, to tropical fruits again, but you will feel more strong pineapple and passion fruit. The fermentation, stainless steel only as well. Second one? Last one?
Third one.
Third one?
Second one.
Okay. Second one as well?
Second and third.
Okay. And rosé, do you normally like it?
Yes.
Yeah?
Mm-hmm.
Summertime, okay.
Yeah.
So our rosé is our youngest wine from the tasting, and this is the most popular one at the moment as well. This one is from 2022, and we use 2 red varieties. That's why we have the darker color on the wine. We use here the Tinta Negra, the Madeiran red grape, and the Aragonês. The Aragonês is the same of the Tempranillo in Spain. So this one, very fruity, fresh, easy drinking. This is a wine that you can have just to wine by himself. If you like to pair with some food, sushi or seafood are very good combinations. This wine, in the aromas, you'll have red fruits from both grapes, lots of cherry, strawberry, watermelon. And this is a wine that it will seem sweet in your nose, but then is not sweet in your palate. Not too present as well, but you'll feel a little bit more of minerality, and it's more complex, the wine as well. In the aromas, green apple from the Arnsburger and tropical fruits from the Verdalho. This one, because it's a little bit more complex, you can already have it with some salad, some fish. The fermentation, it's only in stainless steel tanks as well.
Thank you.
Yes, they are.
Staying here for 10 days.
Ale že dneska tu bude party.
Dneska bude party. Aspoň to strieľalo, že...
To sú efektové, dá. To dunie. To sú také zvuky.
Aha, fireworks.
Tu pachne to hlavne tým, čo